Welcome to Walailak University. It is located in the southern province of Nakhon Si Thammarat and is one of Thailand's premier and world-class universities. Walailak University, striving for excellence. Late in 2022, for the first time in its 30-year history, Walailak University was recognized as a world-class university by Times Higher Education. It was ranked 1,501 plus globally and 11th out of 18 universities in Thailand that were qualified and ranked. It ranks 6th place in life sciences in the country, and Simago Institution's rankings placed Walailak University at 17th in the country. The ascendancy of the university has been spearheaded by Professor Dr. Sompa Thomran Thanyawong, who has been president since 2016. The achievement is consistent with the Thai government's designation of Walailak University as one of Thailand's 16 research-intensive universities. High-quality teaching, which focuses on active learning and student-centeredness, is another hallmark of Walailak University. A major reform in teaching and learning was launched in 2018. As part of the reform, Walailak University adopted the United Kingdom Professional Standards Framework, or UKPSF, to train the teachers. The framework has served as a strong basis for the university's policy to promote teaching critical, analytical, and synthetical thinking skills and outcome-based education. English language proficiency for students is emphasized. Walailak University has the highest number of UKPSF accredited HEA fellowships in Thailand. Walailak University has also adopted digital technology and artificial intelligence for classroom and laboratory learning and teaching. Walailak University places importance on high-standard facilities to promote the quality of life for students, such as on-campus dormitories with 24-hour security systems, electric shuttle car services, counseling service, places for recreation and religious practice, and a sports complex. In addition, Walailak University houses a large food center, or Cho Purdue food court, convenience stores, banks, and co-working spaces in various forms. Walailak University is committed to its educational philosophy of academic excellence and expertise in practice. Before graduation, all students are required to further put the knowledge and skills they have acquired in the classroom to practice at the real-world workplace for 8 months. Currently, more than 800 domestic and international enterprises are providing work experience opportunities for the university's final year students. This is essential for our students to enhance both their professional and 21st century skills necessary for their future careers. Walailak University is one of the top universities in the nation that produces high-quality and internationally recognized research. Our faculty members commonly publish their studies in top-level world-class journals, particularly Quartile 1 and 2, that have attracted worldwide citations. Meanwhile, Walailak University also supports academic services for sustainable social development, based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. According to Times Higher Education, Walailak University is currently ranked between 600 to 800 in the world on the impact rankings. Walailak University is a green university with sustainable development in all aspects under the concept Sustainability for All by improving the landscape, buildings, and facilities so that they are more sustainable and energy saving. We also aim to make the university recreational for both students and staff and the public. Walailak University has been ranked 111th globally as the world's green university by UI Green Metric World University and first in the southern region of Thailand for 3 consecutive years. We have built Walailak Park at the entrance to the university. The park is the largest ornamental garden of all universities in Thailand, combining land and lake with a total area of about 100 acres. With a 1.7-kilometer promenade that stretches along the lake and sets against the Khao Lon National Park mountain in the distance, Walailak Park provides one of the best and unique sceneries that one may find, complete with clean and fresh air. Furthering its green credentials and natural beauty, Walailak has a 1,350 rise, or 534 acres, botanic park that also serves as a platform for learning resources for the community in the south. It features the Tepura Ratsura Natural History Museum, Bota Sky Tower, Cactus Dome, nature trails, herb gardens, and many more. We are proud to have been hosting study visits for both Thais and foreign travelers who, when on the Bota Sky Tower, can enjoy one of the most beautiful landscape views in the area. In healthcare, Walailak University Hospital plays a pivotal role in providing medical services to people in the upper south of Thailand. The hospital, together with its healthcare-related schools, act as a research hub and as an institute that produces much-needed healthcare professionals. At present, Walailak University Hospital has 540 beds comprising both general and specialized clinics. The hospital's C. Tamaracha wing, funded by the C. Tamaracha Foundation, a private organization, provides medical care for monks and other religious figures. The hospital aims to serve more than 300,000 patients annually. Although Walailak University is only 3 decades old, we continue to move forward to unceasingly advance our academic and research works, to be ready to adapt to the changing world, to better serve the community and society, and to be a university of quality that is recognized worldwide.
Gentlemen, and welcome to the international seminar on the topic Informatics Education in Disruptive Era. I'm Jung Suk Kong Sen from School of Informatics. I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremony today. On behalf of the School of Informatics and Informatics Innovation Center of Excellence of Walailak University, we are really pleased to have you all with us. This seminar is conducted as a hybrid seminar, so we have our participants who join us via Zoom as well. Thank you for joining us and welcome. Throughout this afternoon, we will have 2 distinguished keynote speakers who will be sharing their expertise and insights with us. Each session will take 1 hour. We will discuss the roles and impacts of IEEE in higher education and how it has helped to shape the field of informatics. We will also explore advanced technology to support higher education. We will discuss the challenges and opportunities that disruptive technology have created for the field of informatics education. So let's get started. First, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Punpong Bunpram, Dean of School of Informatics, to welcome our participants and open the seminar. Dr. Punpong, please.
Good afternoon, honorary speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome you to this seminar on informatics education in the disruptive era, organizing by School of Informatics and Center of Excellence in Informatics Innovation, Walailak University. In today's fast-paced world, technology constantly changes how we live, how we work, and learn. As educators, we are responsible for ensuring that our students are well equipped to thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape. We live in the midst of the technological revolution where disruptive technology are emerging at an unprecedented pace. From AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to blockchain and Internet of Things. This technology can potentially transform every aspect of our life. Our education system must keep up with this change and prepare students to succeed in this new era. This seminar explores how we can harness the power of technology to enhance learning and teaching in our classroom. We will discuss the innovative way of integrating technology into the curriculum and explore the challenge of this. We will also discuss educator roles in this process and how we can work together to ensure that our students are prepared for the future. Today's seminar will feature two distinguished academic speakers sharing their expertise and insight on this important topic. We will also have some interactive discussion allow you to exchange ideas and experience with your peers. Please make the most of the opportunity and engage in lively discussion throughout the seminar. Let us work together to shape the future of informatics education and ensure that our students succeed in this disruptive era. Okay. Thank you again for joining us, and I wish you all the fruitful and engaging seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Punpong, for your warmly welcome speech. And now we come to our session. The first session is the roles and impact of IEEE in higher education. May I introduce our first speaker, Emeritus Professor Lan Chun Chi Fong. He is the Emeritus Professor at Murdoch University, Australia. He has been a dedicated lecturer. His motto is learning with no boundary. He taught at the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Singapore Polytechnic, and at the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Curtin University of Technology. Then he joined Murdoch University in 2003, and he was appointed as Emeritus Professor in 2015. He has held position as Academic Program Chair, Associate Dean of Research, Postgraduate Research Director, and Director of the Center for Enterprise Collaborative in Innovative Systems. In 2017, he was awarded an honorary PhD program in Information Technology by Walailak University. In recognition of his contribution towards the development and advancement of our research and postgraduate program, he has supervised over 30 postgraduate and doctorate students, and he has published over 330 academic articles in the area of neural networks, intelligent systems, computational intelligence, cybernetics, electrical power system, image processing, data mining, machine learning, knowledge management, education, and web technology. He has been a dedicated volunteer in the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, or IEEE, for over 2 decades. He has served in many positions in executive committees of the Technical Society Chapter, WA Section, Australia Council, and R10 EXCOM. He performs his roles as the R10 Director-elect during 2021 to 2022 and as Director during 2023 to 2024, representing the region on the IEEE Board of Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Lan Chung Chi Fong.
And I have been coming to Walailak University for over 20 years now, and I have seen the development, and it's really encouraging to see all the new development and all the new faces. Some of you I have met over the years, and I must say that Professor Pun Pong and Celine has been a good friend, and I must say that they are growing younger, and then I can see myself getting bigger. Okay, it's really good, and I wish everybody the best of health, even in the midst of COVID and all these things in the past. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit on the roles and the impact of IEEE in the higher education. Officially, I'm no longer an educator in the sense that I am out of my profession as an academic. But having said that, I still have my emeritus position. On that basis, I'm still involved with some supervision. But then again, I wouldn't consider myself as an active researcher, but rather I see myself another role within IEEE. And I do see that, we have, more important roles and impact on the community rather than just being a lecturer within my university. And I have the honor and the pleasure, and also today, joining my esteemed colleague, Dr. Wang. He is going to share an advanced technology to support higher education. And I believe you will learn a lot from his sharing that some of the technology involved in our disruptive era. So as far as my sharing today is concerned, maybe, as you can see, looking at all my white hair, everybody in here is a black hair, so you can see I've gone through quite a fair bit of experience. I think in total, I would say over 50 years of experience with technology. I first started my education in technology in 1972. So I will share a little bit about what are the technology I've witnessed the change, and then cause all this disruptive, nature. And then I talk about IEEE. So how many of you know what is IEEE? Hands up. How many of you are a member of IEEE? Not, you are, okay, congratulations, thank you so much. And then I talk a little bit about the Asia Pacific region. In particular, the region I'm serving is called Region 10. And I talk about, two particular portals. And maybe if I have time, I will share a little bit more as well. And I encourage you to take a look. One talking about our product and services on education activities. Another one is on the professional home. And we really see IEEE is really for the lifelong cycle of education. And we really go all the way from STEM, from K to 12, all the way up to retirement as well. So I just want to share with you what we have. So what are the disruptive technology I've experienced? So if I go back to my very beginning, 1972, I received my training in radio communication. At that time, I used this Morse code. I'm not too sure how many of you realize it. If I have to spell this out in Morse code, disruptive, I will spell da 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 da. So not too many people understand this. But at that time, I was the only one can sail on a ship, can communicate with the world. And unfortunately, if anything happened to the ship, I'll be the second last one to leave the ship. If the captains go down, I'll go down with him as well. But luckily, I'm still around. So over the years, I have also received my educations. Started from the valves. Okay, I'm not too sure how many of you knows what is valves. Some of you, if you are doing hi-fi, you may need some of those tubes, and that's called electronic valves. And then go into go to transistor, and now of course go into semiconductors, ICs. Okay, and I also see the changes in computer technology. I started off my first touch of the computer when I started off my undergrad in 1978. And the first program, we used a punch card. And then, when I was on the ship, I also see some of the early generation of computer. They use the magnetic beads, okay, for each bit. And then they use some paper tape, to boot strap the computer. And then I've gone through the micro computers, the mini computers, the PC, and what we have nowadays, the microcontrollers, IoT. And on artificial intelligence, what I've gone through is my PhD study. I start off with using the artificial intelligence on application to power engineering, where we use the rule-based system, knowledge-based system. And then gradually I go into neural networks, fuzzy logics, evolutionary computing, machine learning, and then all these things come until now, today what we have, very strong IT. And then these move on to the computational intelligence, which is a much more general aspect. And then go into the different applications. And you can see now the maturity of a CI going to a lot of the different applications. And I believe Professor Wong is going to talk about that one. We have also involved with the brain-computer interface. One of my students did some research work, monitoring the brain wave and try to work out, the moods and also the emotional state. Medical technology. Again, it's fantastic. Think about the iWatch I'm wearing. It monitors my heartbeat. So I know it, why my wife wants me to wear this, because of one of her customers, the iWatch told him that he's going to have a heart attack. And then he was saved because he received a warning. And also sometimes if I fall, and then the watch also tell me, I noticed that did you fall? You need help? So think about the medical application that go onto your watch. And also I'm looking for the next generation, whereby they're looking at the glucose monitoring as well. Financial technology, again, is another one. And entertainment technology, again, is another one. So we think about looking back. We'll start off by listening to the radio, listening to the LP, listening to the cassette tape, now watching television. Now I don't even watch television now because I can watch all the video on demand. I can watch it while streaming. So you can see all this technology have been changing over the years. And some of these have become obsolete. Some of these may still come back. Then, how does the role of IEEE comes in? Well, to tell a good story, you have to start from the beginning. I have to go back to the history of IEEE. So what can I tell you? I'm not too sure you can read the names on here or not.
The person, Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, was a member, although it's not IEEE, but stands for AIEE, American Institute of Electrical Engineers.
He got the membership number 1189. How much money he spent for his prescription? $15 US. Now, $15 may not sound a lot nowadays, but I can tell you in $15 at that time, $1 you can exchange around 20 grams of pure gold. Actually, at that time, they have to put it in the law, although later on they change it. And then if you turn that one into today's currency, it's roughly costing around $1,275, depending on the price of gold. And who else? How many of you recognize this name? Professor Alexander Graham Bell. Who is he? He is the one who did the telephone. Okay? And then also there are some others, on the telegraph. But maybe one more name you might be familiar nowadays. Tesla. Okay, of course nowadays you can recognize as the electronic car. But Nikola Tesla actually have a lot of invention as well. Can we? Medalist in 1916. Okay, and then IEEE. I have already mentioned, the member you observe from Edison and Bell, originally they were from this organization called AIEE, American Institute of Electrical Engineering. And then there's another one called Institute of Radio Engineering. They're also significant of this. That was really where my training comes in. Marconi. I'm not sure if you heard about the name or not. Marconi is the one who started the wireless communication. Well, he did this from Halifax, over in Canada, and communicate to England, okay, through some very crude system. They call this the spark generator, and then they can communicate using Morse code. Now, using Morse code was quite common at that time already. But what they have, the Morse code had to be sent out by wires. So if you watch a lot of those Western movies, every railway line, they always have the wire. And that's where they do the communication using the Morse code at that time. So when IRE comes in, using wireless communication, it makes a lot of difference. Can you make some analogy today? Yes. Used to be when you do the computer, you use a LAN, you got to plug in something. And then now you got a maturity using the wireless LAN. Am I right? And those are the things that IEEE have been involved. So what's so significant about these two organizations? So these two organizations, they decided to merge together. So they invite all the members to vote. That was in 1962. And then they combined together. So IEEE, effectively speaking, is from 1962 until now, is officially become IEEE. So what is IEEE? You have to go back to our fundamentals registration. Well, this is a non-profit organization. So it is not a commercial organization. So it's dedicated, for education, science. So it's registered under the New York, not-for-profit corporate law. So it's under the law of USA. So you can see in here, to engage exclusively in scientific and educational activities within the meaning of the Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, etc. So what it means is, our involvement is dealing with theory and practices towards the advancement of the theory and practices of electrical, electronic, communications, computer engineering, computer science, and another branch of engineering, related arts and science. And then we do things like holding the meetings, like the conferences, reading and discussion of professional papers, and that has been one of our main assets, our knowledge repository in IEEE is our publications. Through the publications and the circulation, the work of literature, science, and arts pertaining to other activities, etc. So this organization is not one entirely to making money, but although we do have a fair bit of asset, because over the years, we make the money through the conferences and publication. But nevertheless, the main purpose is to advance technology for humanity, on science and technology. So you can read all this about IEEE. So IEEE really was formed officially in 1963, but before that, it was two organizations, AIEE and also the IRE. So AIEE, you got to go back further, and that was where, Bell and Edison comes in, because they were in 84 was started. So, and then some others will come from telegraphy, and power is from Edison, telephony is from Bell. IRE, really started in 1912, and then it was for advancement of the radio engineering, is after the work of Marconi, and also the vacuum tubes. So that's the valves I mentioned earlier on. So you can see it is all the way go back to history. You're talking about over 100 years ago, of the organization. So at the time of formation, IEEE have 150,000 members, and 140,000 of those are in USA. And over the years, you can see the demography of the membership have changed dramatically. Again, I will show you later on what happened to our region. So give you some snapshot, what do we have in IEEE? These are given from the annual report in 2022. That was a report of 21. So the 22 report will be coming out sometime in April this year. So you can see some figures. You talk about in Explore, we have 5.5 million. As a matter of fact, if you take it now we have around 5.9 million articles in our Explore. And we're talking about that we have 91,000 journals, the papers, articles, journal articles, and we have the standards being established in the year 2021. We have members 400,000 and above. As a matter of fact, these figures fluctuate a little bit because at the end of February, we have to wait for the member to renew, so gradually we'll come back again. We have 125,000 members in students, okay? And then it's subdivided into 10 regions. So that's why you heard about Region 10, and that's where we are in. And I can show you some figures, in our Region 10. We held close to 2,000 conferences. Actually, last year, over 2,000. And we also collected over 500,000 of conference paper. But on top of that, there are 39 technical societies. So IEEE is being organized, on one hand, based on a geographical arrangement called the region. We also have our technical interest called the society. So this is where it impacts, well, the higher education and the community through the people and the contribution in the different areas. So obviously some of the bigger society are like computer society, communication society, power and energy society, etc. Some of the smaller one, maybe it's technical communication, management, etc. You can take a look for yourself. Some other things are being done. Well, we have done talk about the conferences, well, which I have already mentioned. And then, well, at that time, we have quite a number of them being held online and hybrid, especially during the pandemic years. So we have adapted, and we have also changed using new technology. And we also have some other, well, projects, well, to support the underserved or underdeveloped communities, and through things like the smart village, smart grid, some of the others. So our future directions connecting the underconnected. We have also through our future directions committee, there are also a lot of other leading work as well, like the lower altitudes, the satellites, the smart lighting. This is the one for helping with those without electricity. The telepresence, we're talking about metaverse, AR and VR can be part of this one. We also have our student membership. As I mentioned, we have grown the numbers from 2021 to 2020 to 2021, being grown quite a lot. Mainly because we have some promotion, we have reduced the membership due. We also have I have mentioned in terms of the publication is one of the main service and the asset of IEEE. One of the move in the publication is what we call open access. So IEEE in the past, well, you need to subscribe to those journal, but nowadays it's beginning to change. Some of those journals are open to public, to everyone. So this is the one that maybe you need to look into. There's an increase the citation and access to it. We have our student competition. Well, for the programming, we call it IEEE Extreme. As you can see, it's partaken by over 12,000 students, 5,000 teams or so. We also have the foundations, well, which is the philanthropy arms. Well, people give a donation, and then, well, I think they get over $60-something million over the years, and then they also use it to support the projects of IEEE. PES stands for Power and Energy Society. WIE stands for Women in Engineering. So this is one of the areas that IEEE want to address the imbalance between the gender. I have also mentioned the main purpose of IEEE is to advance technology in education and science. And the ILN is one of our major portals, which again I will talk a little bit more from our products from Educational Activities Board. We also have the e-learning. We also have the Spectrum, which is our award-winning magazine. So some of these are entirely free of charge. So I will encourage you to take a good look at it. So these have been some of the snapshots from the IEEE Annual Report 2021, released in last year. We look forward to see the one coming up this year. Now let's take a look at the geographic allocations of IEEE. I've already mentioned IEEE is subdivided into 10 regions. Region 1 to 6 is in North America, USA. Region 7 is Canada. Region 8, well, is Europe and Africa and Middle East. Region 9 is the Central America and South America. Region 10, well, is our Asia Pacific region. In terms of the membership, Asia Pacific is the highest. We more or less will constitute around 1/3 of the member of IEEE. IEEE on the whole over 400,000. But Region 10, we have around 170,000 at the count of early this year. In terms of geographic location, you can see Region 8 is the biggest. Okay, it covers all the way from Russia, all the way to Greenland, as you can see, the span of the distance in here. And also, it's a very diverse composition in Region 8 in terms of the number of countries involved. And you can also imagine in terms of the culture, the languages they're using. South America is another one. So again, you see got a good number of different countries in there, and similarly in Asia. Okay. Then how about the organization of IEEE? Now, I know that this one may be too difficult for you to see, but you can take a look at IEEE organization. I just highlight the one on top. You can see that the top organization is the members. IEEE is a member organization. We are made up of members. We are serving the members, and the service also provided by the member volunteers. We have what we call the board of directors. Board of directors comprises of the elected divisions and also region director. I have the honors and privilege being elected as the Region 10 Director in 2020. So I serve as the Director-elect in 21-22 and 23-24. Right now I'm serving as a Director. And following next 2 years, I'll be serving as a past Director. So it's a 6 years commitment. And after that, I may serve a few more years on the Advisory Committee. The Assembly is made up of the 20 Directors, 10 for the regions, 10 for the divisions, plus the 3 presidents. President-elect, President, and past President, 23. So we have the voting power to determine the appointment of a number of board directors. So I'll talk about the boards shortly as well. And then also we have employed, a full-time staff, which is executive director. As a matter of fact, our last executive director was Steve Welby. He has served in IEEE for I think 5 to 6 years, and he just changed his job early this year, and he became a deputy director, I think in the Ministry Office of Design and Technology of the White House. Think about that, okay? One of our staff will become a deputy director in the White House. And also I talk about the major boards. So what are the major boards? So in IEEE we have 6 major boards. So if you go back to the earlier slide, you see that a very complex diagram. You see very complex in here. On top of here, all the 6 major boards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then plus 1 are all the committees under the board of directors. Each one of these, you've got a whole range of subcommittee as well. So what are these 6 major boards? So within these 6 major boards, under the Assembly and the directors, you have IEEE USA board. In here, you have 6 of the regions from USA under the USA board. You have the Educational Activities Board. So I'm going to share with you some of the products and services, because how I see this is the one can have the major roles and impact on higher education. We also have the Publication and the Service and the Products Board. What do? They are the one governing the publication of papers, conference proceedings. We have the Members and Geographic Activities Board. This is where I belong to. As a matter of fact, any members join IEEE, you become a member of a section. In your case, will be Thailand section. Thailand section, you have around over 600 members or so. And then, you are part of the Region 10, Asia Pacific region. That is under, my area. And then, you can also have councils, which I'll show you another slide later on. So we are the ones serving the members, okay? And then you have the Standard Association. So Standard Association is another arm of IEEE. They are the one developing the industry standard. I mentioned about your wireless, the standard X52, whatever it is. They are developed by by the Standard Association. And then finally, you have the Technical Activities Board. I mentioned about the 39 society. They are subdivided into 10 divisions under this Technical Activities Board. So you can be a IEEE members under a section within the MG8, but you can also have your specific interest joining some of the societies, then they're under the TAB, Technical Activities Board. So this is a general organization of IEEE. And on top of that, there are a number of other committees directly under the Board of Directors. So the 2022 to 2025 strategic plan more or less pave the direction and the focus of IEEE, which I'll come back to this later on. You will see in there also very strong, out of the 5 strategic focus, 3 of them are actually concentrating on education. So that's why I'm going to talk about the education board, the products and services. Let's come back to our Members and Geographic Activities Board. This is the one I'm particularly responsible to. So our mission is to provide quality members opportunities for continuous engagement. So the guiding principle is we see our members as a core value of IEEE, and each one of them individually and collectively create our future. Well, how do you contribute to it? You could be publishing your papers. Well, that is collected inside the asset. You could be volunteering, part of the role, just like what I've done over the 20 years. I've been taking up a lot of volunteering roles in IEEE. So we are the one can decide the future. And right now, I'm sitting on the board of directors. So I'm part of the decision making to decide policy and also the investment of our funds, how to benefit the community. And we enhance the members' future. These are the main purpose of IEEE, and also we engage the members through the volunteering services. So coming to IEEE, Region 10, what can I tell you? This is the area location, cover, Region 10. Of course, you can see Thailand is somewhere in here, so it's part of it, okay? And of course, you're under the ASEAN country, and I'm in Australia, part of it, and all the way to New Zealand and some of the South Pacific countries. And to the east, all the way actually go to Afghanistan, also part of our Region 10. Up to the north, Mongolia, we have one of these subsection. So these are the numbers were taken at the end of the February. As you can see, number-wise, we have 170,000 members, and we have around 60 sections, and Thailand is one of it. And then we have student branches, we have student branch chapters. Chapters are the smaller arms of the technical society, inside the section, and they're the one organizing the activities. See, for example, if you have a student branch in Walailak University, you can also have a student branch chapter related to, say, for example, like computer society, and then you can run some activities. You can even invite some of the distinguished lecturers from the society. But this is another way to look at our organization in Region 10. So we subdivided into sections, and some of the countries, they would have multiple sections. Let's say, for example, like in Australia, we have 7 sections. In India, there are 13 sections. In Japan, they have 9 sections, etc., etc. So in Thailand, so far, you only got 1 section. So, but I can see in time to grow, you might have a growing more members. You may have another additional section as well. Just give you, as a matter of a perspective, how big are some of these sections? And you can see some of the section is quite big. Kerala section in India, 16,000. Beijing, 13,000. Bangalore, 13,000. Madras. You can see in India, it's quite predominantly a very high number of members. But I can also say that a lot of them are student members. They're very active. And then followed by Tokyo, Delhi, Nanjing, Uttar Pradesh, Bombay, etc. I'm not going too much in terms of the Region 10 now, because this is relating to my organization, but I just let you know how do we generally organize and also the opportunities. So we have the highest decision making within the executive committee. We call the operations committee. So me being the current chair, we have the past chair, Deepak as the last 2 years, and we got the coming director-elect as well, Professor Takako Hashimoto from Japan. We also have a secretary, Michael Ong from Singapore. Nia is from Indonesia. Seishi is a North Asia Zone representative, also from Japan. Zia is a vice chair for the professional activities. Takao is the vice chair of technical activities. And Priti Banjai is the vice chair of membership activities. What I want to show you in here is a diversity and also inclusion we have. We have both male and female and people from different countries and different backgrounds and culture, etc. And different experience as well. And then we have the advisory committee. So all these are the past directors. So past directors, before Deepak, he was Professor Akinori. Before Professor Akinori, we have a Professor Kuchin from Korea. And earlier than that, we have some others, Professor Toshio Fukuda. He was the president in 2020 for IEEE. And also we have Professor Janila, and she is from James Cook University. So this morning, we see some of the keynote speakers from James Cook University. And then we have some others like different arms. So I'm not going through all these now, but I can show you the diversity. We have Professor Chong from Korea, Takao from Japan, Samir from India, Jindong from India, Yimi from Japan, Sanjay, Vijay from he's from India originally, but right now he's in Melbourne. And also some others as well. We have a student, well, Kanita, well, she is from Thailand. Okay, I think right now she's working in the Payao University. And we have Jennifer from the Philippines. Well, we have Savita, she was from Sri Lanka originally, but right now she's working in Malaysia. And then we have Amit and from India as well, Sanjay, Asana, and also Preeti from India. We also have some others. This is the professional activities. Zia, originally from Pakistan, but right now he's also in India. Daniel, sorry, not in India, I think he's in Australia. Daniel is from Australia. Harry McDonald is from my same section. Well, Takako, well, you have already seen her earlier on. She is our director-elect from Japan. Akila from Sri Lanka. Leon Lei is from China. From Hong Kong. So what I'm trying to illustrate to you, well, all these, they are the chair of some specific committee within my Region 10 ExCom. So we also add on some other ad hoc committees, okay, on ethics, on climate change, on philanthropy. We have the diversity, equity and inclusion, and conference steering, and development, etc. So the main purpose I want to show this to you is within our Region 10, we are serving 170,000 members. We have 60 sections. So we manage well by over 130 or so volunteers within our management hierarchy. We subdivided into 3 areas: members activities, professional activities, technical activities. We have our advisory committees. We have our operations committee. So we have 3 major events, every year. As a matter of fact, one more once every 2 years. We call it student, young professional, women in engineering, and live members. Well, this one happened once every 2 years. In this year, we have one more, we call it 10SIM, Region 10 Symposium, happening in Canberra in September. We have the Humanitarian Technology Conference, is going to be held in India. I think it's in October. And then we also have the 10Con, which is going to be held in Chiang Mai, okay, later this year. And I'm trying to look for one opportunity. Maybe we can run another event after 10Con, so that I can invite some of the speakers when we come down. So I'll discuss with Professor Poon Pong and maybe your president to see how the feasibility of that. And also we have some other things like what we call the Region 10 talk, R10 talk. So this is the one ongoing. Last year we had around 24. It's an ongoing webinar, but then we invite speakers from all over the world speaking on the expertise. We also have a robotic competition. Well, this one was being held in Bangkok last year, and it was being held in Chulalongkorn University, and I think something similar is going to happen this year as well. So we would encourage you can look into that, but you need to have a student branch in here. And then we get a support from the different societies and also within the region as well. So this is the picture taken in Vietnam this year on our annual general meeting, over 100 or so delegates to that. So this one gives you an overview, okay, how IEEE operate on the global level, on the Asia-Pacific level. Now, we come back to the key question. How does IEEE contribute to higher education? So there are a number of key ways, IEEE places it. I've mentioned some of these topics high level this morning, so I'm going to expand a little bit further. If you remember, I mentioned IEEE have 6 major boards, okay? MG8, Members and Geographic Activities, TAB, Technical Activities Board, and one of it is the Standard Association. This is the one. You can take a look, you just simply search IEEE Standard Association, you can find out what they do. What do they do? We develop and publish the standards for a wide range of technology and industry, including the telecommunications, power engineering, electronics. The standards are often used as benchmark for research and education, helping to ensure that the students and learning are the latest and most relevant in industry practices. So in other words, this is not just publish a paper, but these are relevant and useful standards to be used in the industry as well. So I think that, well, it's something we're missing in terms of the education that introduce the student to the standards. As you can see in here, we have over 2,100 standards have been published and being used in 175 plus countries. Okay, and then well, you have 34,000 of practitioners involved with that. Second one, publication. I've also mentioned earlier on, publication is one of the main assets. And you can see the number in here through our digital repository called Explore. Explore is where the collection of all our conference papers, journal papers, transaction papers, and over the years, he has collected 5.9 million copies of these articles. Now, you must bear in mind that while we may not be the largest compared to the others, but the others may cover a lot of other disciplines, like medicine, like food science, whatever it is. But IEEE is dedicated only to ICT, electronic, computer engineering, etc. So we publish a range of the peer-reviewed journals, magazines, conference proceedings in electrical and electronic engineers and computer science. And these publications provide the students and the faculties with access to the latest research and insights in these fields and helping them to drive innovation and advancement. So how does IEEE contribute towards the disruptive era? Publications is another one. Okay, I know that the university is now pushing, well, you need to publish. Well, that has been considered as one of the standards, okay, as some kind of benchmarking. Although I know that sometimes it's hard because, well, a lot of, it's very competitive. But nevertheless, well, you can also see a lot of venues are also opening. I mentioned open access, etc. And then was education and training, which I will show you some others slides subsequently. So education in IEEE is not limited just to a full-time course of 3 years, 4 years, PhD, no. We see it's a lifelong learning. You will see that education is really all around one's career, maybe even lifetime as well. So IEEE, we offer a range of educational and training resources, including online courses, webinar, and certification program. So these resources help the student and professionals to stay up to date with the latest technologies and skills, and provides the opportunities for continuing education and professional development. So if you are here in the morning, so you hear this theme of continuous education, lifelong learning, well, you see the different modes of a delivery, online, well, hybrid, well, face-to-face, is really getting common, and it's really the characteristic what we see in today's disruptive era. So again, you can take a look at our website, IEEE, you look for EAB, you can find out from that. And also we have the students as well. From the IEEE point of view, a student is our generation of members and also the volunteers as well. So we do have a website dedicated to the students. So we can tell them how to get their members, well, what are the benefits they can have, what are the opportunities where they can volunteer, and how they join the community. I can see that in Walailak, you're also starting that as well. Well, you have an online group discussing about teaching, learning, etc. So something similar in IEEE we also have. Well, we offer the membership and the program specifically tailored to the students, including the student membership rate, the scholarship, competitions, and also help the student connect with peers and the professionals in the field and provide opportunities for networking and career development. So you can see nowadays it's not just simply through the 3 years education, but rather you need to know the people. You need to know who are the one who is being cited the most in your particular discipline. You need to know that who is doing what. You need to be updated. So now, for the next few slides, I'm going to use some of the slides have been used by my colleagues from the Educational Activities Board. They give you an overview. Well, what has IEEE been contributing even up to now in the education activities? So as you can see, this one has been prepared by our staff, which is Jamie Mosh, the education, the management director of IEEE EAB. So it shows you some of the products we offer. Come back to the goals of IEEE. I've already mentioned we have the strategic plan from 2020 to 2025. And in there, they identify, the core values and also 5 of the strategic goals. What are the goals? I'm not going through all these, but you can highlight some of these. Is to enhance the public understanding of engineering and technology and pursue standards for the practical application. So we can see that we go through the standard association, well, development of the standards. We also see that providing different educational products in helping the public to understand the technology and engineering. We also be a trusted source of the educational service and resources to support lifelong learning. This is part of our strategic goal. Provide opportunities for career and professional development and inspire a worldwide audience by building community and advanced technology interests, while inform public policies and expand knowledge, well, for the benefit of humanity. So you can see this is the general, well, focus, well, in our strategic plan for 5 years. So you can see there's a whole range of the societies involved, well, in providing the education within IEEE. IEEE EAB, Education Activities Board, they do not produce the content, but rather they act, well, as the platform. They cooperate, well, with all the different units within IEEE. All these you can see are part of the society, council, all the different activities going around in IEEE. So I'm not going to list down and read from the right-hand side. So how do we see education? Education is really all over IEEE. So you have seen earlier on, I mentioned about the 6 major boards: Technical Activities Board, Publications Board, MGA Board, USA Board, Educational Activities, and the Standard Association. All these are really related to education. Okay, so we really cover the whole lot. How do we see related to every individual? You can see this through the cycle. We'll be starting off, well, from the pre-university, K to 12, from kindergarten to 12. You know that there's so much emphasis talk about STEM. Excuse me. Or the STEM, you know, is a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we have done quite a fair bit of resources to provide them the support, which I will show you some of the slides. Of course, from a university student point of view, we also have the relevant, well, pathway to help them to go become the young professional. Young professionals are considered those who they have graduated and they go into the career. Even the professional, they gradually go from the mid-career, advanced career, and then maybe even go into the retirement, well, community. So what are these examples of these services we provide? Some of these are entirely free. Try Engineering is a very good example to start off, getting people aroused with the interest in engineering. So we have a whole range, well, of exercises whereby the student can do a hand-on experience and they can learn about the engineering. We also have some support, well, for our Try Engineering for teachers. So over in USA, they do use some of these as part of the curriculum, although it's looking at more on the lower level, not so much on university level. Okay, but it's really good at starting point, especially reaching out to the local communities. We also have a lesson plan as well. As a matter of fact, the members are also encouraged to submit their lesson plan. And if they are really useful, it could also be incorporated, well, within our scheme. We also have a Try Engineering, well, for volunteers. So in this case, I encourage you to sharing the resources, well, to the other people. So these are some of the examples, well, of the portal, well, what has been developed. So we also give out actual funding to support the outreach, well, for the grant as well. So in this case, although this year has already passed, but the main idea is we provide financial support, well, for people who are going to do the this program, Try Engineering. But one of the features, well, back in 2020, we started looking into that. Well, that was the time the Professor Toshio Fukuda was the president. Well, he faced with the dilemma of the pandemic, so every face-to-face meeting have to stop. So he came up with some suggestion. And then at that time, I was the committee chair for educational activities within the Region 10. And then his challenge is, well, can we do something about the school children, well, within their lockdown, they cannot go anywhere. Can we occupy them? Can we use the opportunity for education? But we found out one of the problems we have was the language. Most of the materials, in IEEE are written in English. But on the other hand, he was looking at those students in Japan, and not too many of them are very familiar with English. I can say the similar case, well, in Thailand, in India. So one of the things we have started is what we call the Reaching Local project. On that one, we can use the Google Translate button to translate the material into different languages. And I can assure you, you have something in Thai as well. And also, we have some teams that are looking into the translation project by improving the translation, because we all know that Google Translate is not perfect. So this is what I can show you, well, as an example. Well, it's not necessarily from the higher education. You have to start from young. You have to attract the people coming to STEM, well, when they're even in high school. Another one I find is very good. It's called the IEEE Reach. This is the one actually is using the resources from the history, okay? And then it's really intended, well, for the resources for the school again. So they even provide the teaching materials. So it may not be for the university, but it's really useful, well, for the teachers, well, going to teach STEM, and then they can make use of the materials we have on this IEEE Reach portal. So they have the resources, well, like the videos, well, like recording, like the lesson plans, well, like the resource assignment and those kind of materials. So they have, I think, 7 or 8 modules has been developed under different topics. So they have the background concept, they got the videos, and then they have the educational resources, well, outside as well, hand-on the exercises, and also the questions for the teachers, so that they can guide the student in explanation. We also have, well, okay, 15 minutes left. Okay, so I gotta be quick. All right, so let's take a look. Where am I now? Okay, so I'm gonna be quick. So you can have the Teaching Excellence Hub. So this is the one, again, supporting the engineering education. I mentioned earlier this morning, well, in terms of the servicing education, how to involve the students, well, in the actual workplace. And this is the one we have in IEEE called the EPICS, the Engineering Projects in Community Service. So this is the cooperation, well, between the IEEE, the university, and also the community. I've already mentioned ILN, IEEE Learning Network. This is the one that will provide a whole range of courses, around 40 partners from different, well, society within IEEE. You can see whole range of leading edge technology, well, all the way to the latest one, and then some of the fundamental as well. Now, only thing is some of these, well, you may need to pay, but if you are a member, well, you get a discount. So maybe one option is, well, maybe, well, the university, well, can have some kind of an account where you pay for it, and then the student can access to look at it as well. We have also delivered our contents through the virtual events, especially these have become very popular, well, through the pandemic time. With Region 10, we get a Region 10 talk. Again, within Education Activities Board, we have some others. This morning, I also heard that you are starting another department called the language. We do have also our support that we call the English for the technical professional. So there are some videos teaching our members, well, whereby the English may not be their first language. Well, next week, actually, we have the Education Week. I would encourage you to take a look at what are the resources available in Education Week from IEEE between 2nd to the 8th of April. We have things like the webinars, we have the scholarship resources, so you can take a look as well. What I want to show you is IEEE, well, our impact and roles are available in a whole range of portals. I'm just using some of these to illustrate to you. So now, let's come to the last part. I have mentioned about our organizations, Region 10, Asia Pacific, and then I use the EAB as a specific example to demonstrate, well, what are the products and what role we can play as an impact to the community. But let's take a look one more steps. As an individual, well, if I join as an IEEE member, how can you help me, how can you impact, well, my career, well, my learning, etc. We do have this particular, well, website we call the Your Professional Home. So what do you see? If you go into this one, it's really, again, you can see a range, well, of leading you to different portals within the IEEE. So the main idea is to provide you the inspiration, the passion, the creativity, the collaboration. Well, you could be starting, well, at the beginning of the career, you may be at the height of a career, or maybe you can go into retirement. So this particular website will show you some of the pathways and what are the products available that help you. So you can see they're subdivided into different areas. If you're a student, then maybe you can take a look. I'll show you quickly some of these information in there. You can look into the student and the young professional launching the career. It could be in academics. Okay, well, there are some resources supporting you as an academic. Well, you could be industry. You could be in the government service. Or maybe people like me who has already retired, and we have the retired community whereby we can help serve by sharing our experience as well. So if you go into each one of these, link, then you can tell you exactly, what stage are you in, and then it will tell you, what are the websites, the resources that you can refer to that help you. Okay, and these are some of the resources. Well, we have the Center of Leadership Excellence. So really, this is training people on some of the soft skill. We have the IEEE badges, opportunities, Collaborate Tech. This one is an online community. You can join some community, you can join some fun, having some quiz, and you can earn some badges. I've already mentioned EPICS, okay, engineering projects in community service. We also have the Humanitarian Activities Committee. Now it changed the Humanitarian Technology Board. We have the mentoring scheme. We have the MOVE. MOVE actually is a humanitarian project started off in USA. What they have is a big truck, and then they provide disaster support, like the power, like the communication. And then we use that one to teach a lot of the school teaching students and university students, a lot of technology involved. Excuse me. We have the Potential magazine is dedicated for the students members. We have the Spectrum magazine. This is really the leading edge award-winning magazine for all the latest technology. We have IEEE volunteering, IEEE women engineering, IEEE extreme. That is the programming competition. We have the young professionals. So all this, if you go into the website, all these are the individual links leading you to those specific websites and telling you the information. You also have something similar on the right-hand side as well. If you're in the industry, again, you will see something similar. You could be an industry contributors, you could be a researcher, and you could be a managerial pathway. And again, each one of them telling you some of the related resources. I've already mentioned about the Collaborate Tech. That is the online community. You then talk and join the community for discussion and contribution. We have the IEEE job site. Although a lot of these may be limited to USA, but then again, you can see what are the demands in the industry. You can have a monitoring, mentoring the program. You have IEEE TV as well. We have the recording, by the eminent speakers as well. I've already mentioned the Learning Network from IEDE, Center for Leadership Excellence, Resources Center. So again, similarly, you have researchers from different pathway, different programs that may help them, or very similar, on the managerial part. If you're academic, okay, maybe some of you are interested in here, you can depends, what role are you in? Are you an undergraduate student now? Are you a research student? Are you a faculty members? Or are you an established faculty members? Or you're retiring? Or maybe you are an administrator. So again, each one of these, we have identified some of these resources we can help you. So you just simply go to the website, and then you can go to each of these links and see how well you can work with that. We also have the public service as well. I can see this morning, you have the one of the guest speaker from the government. It is important, to have a dialogue with them so that they know what's going on, at the university and the community. So you could be a low-level, entry-level, and in turn to staffers. You could be in the executive track, or you could be in the policy track, administrative track. Again, similarly, they have all the different suggested resources which are available to you. So again, I'm not going to detail into this. So even people come to me, I've retired for 7 years already, but I'm even more active than before. Just this month, because of my position, I've been traveling quite a lot. This month I traveled to Vietnam, I traveled to Panama, I traveled to Bucharest before I come over here. Okay, so there's a lot of involvement, a lot of opportunity as a volunteer, like myself. We could be still people going from retirement, from full employment, go to retirement. And there are some people that are retired and come back to work. Again, similarly, we have all the different resources available as well. So why we use the term home? I see it is important we are understanding the concept of IEEE as your professional home. Because IEEE, we have the roles and our impact to higher education. And then if it is being your professional home, and then it's going to help you and also going to provide you support as well. But why home? I look at it with these acronyms. H stands for honor. In a way, the brand of IEEE, well, we have our standard. And then you know that it's something that you can rely on. So that's why people publish in Tier 1. I heard, well, a couple of times you want to be in the Tier 1 journals, etc. We have some of the most highest, well, cited, well, papers. And I would say that, well, anyone within the academic, in engineering, electrical, electronics, you cannot get away from publication. Either you make references to that, or maybe you publish in there as well. So this is an honor, it's a recognition. It's an opportunities. So you can see that I show you the hierarchy earlier on with all the different committees, all these things. Why? Because those are the opportunities. As an IEEE member, you can serve as a volunteer. And then through that, you can gain your exposure. You can build up your network. Motivation. Okay, 5 minutes left. Okay, I'm going to finish shortly. I'll give you some bonus as well. Okay, so we have the motivation because we have a higher calling. What is our mission and vision? Advancing technology for humanity. So think about it. Now, this morning I heard something called climate change. Looking at your university, is the #1 green university for 3 years. It is important because we're talking about the sustainability for the whole world. And I don't know, you come across a video, well, called The Frozen Planet by David Attenborough. I highly recommend that. Okay, from BBC. I watched that one when I was on the plane. There's another book, well, by Bill Gates. Everybody knows Bill Gates, okay, Microsoft, well, Windows. But he wrote this book called How to Avoid the Climate Disaster. He has changed, well, not just making money, well, through the IT. He now put his focus, although, well, the Bill and Melanie Foundation, they have been supporting looking into medical research. But then again now, well, his attention looking into climate change. Because, well, when we, well, give up the opportunity to improve, to stop the climate change, I can tell you we're gone forever, okay? Well, there are countries, I love cruising. And there are some countries, say for example, like Easter Island, there's no more single tree on the island. Because at that time they chop down every single tree and you can never recover. You take a look at the deserts, okay? So a lot of places, although now they've been doing the regreening of the deserts. And finally is engagement. And I myself see that IEEE plays the role of the impact, well, to the higher education because we provide you with the home where you have your honors. You can be associated with this name and the brand. You have the opportunities. Not only just simply getting your paper published, you can also serve as well. You have the motivation. What highest motivation than serving than the humanity, your next generation? And also you can get the engagement as well. So that's all I have, well, with you today, and I know that I just used up my time. 2 minutes left. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you really used up very good time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Fong, for your informative sharing about IEEE. Okay, so now we know IEEE better. We see IEEE contribution, the opportunity that we can get involved as institutes or as an individual. Okay, and it's very good to see IEEE as a professional home. So now it's time for Q&A. If any audience have any question or additional discussion, please feel free to ask your question. And the participate via Zoom, please feel free to typing at the chat feature. Okay. Any question? Yes, please.
Ajahn Bumpong.
As you mentioned that there are about 700 members in Thailand, right? How about in the south? Can you estimate that
You mean the membership in the south?
the members, yeah.
I can't tell on that one, although there should be some data looking into that.
I see.
And I know that overall number is around 600, but that's a lot, latest data I have seen.
Yeah. Looking at the data that you gave, you know, there are a lot of opportunity and
Definitely.
benefit to be the member. So I'm thinking about if we, like there are more than 20 institutions in the South, you know, if we can promote this and we to be a member, and if we have enough member, can we set up like the zone?
Okay, now in terms of the sections,
Yeah,
you do,
section.
well, quite unlikely you can set up one separate section unless Thailand is going to grow enough and then you split into multiple sections like what we have in Australia. Australia, we have around 6,000 members, so we got 7 sections. But some of the sections, you only need around 100 plus or so will do. But you don't need to work on that. You start off with having the membership, well, from the faculty staff and the student as well. Even student, well, you can join as student member. Actually, they're quite cheap. Right now, we have some promotion on 50% off as well. And then, well, if you are a graduate student, you pay the student rate, but you are enjoying your benefit as a full members. You can vote, you can serve on the committee as well.
Yeah.
So we have seen some of the members, well, they graduate from young graduate student, and then they take up roles, and then they become the young professionals. And then well, I've seen one of the regions in the Region 9, Jennifer, she's pretty young, and she become a region director already. Okay, so there are opportunities in that. And then well, you have the student members, you can start off with student branch.
Yeah.
So in other words, you can have a Walailak University student branch.
I see.
And then you can recognize. I think right now you have a few, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know have been predominantly in the Thailand section, you have 2 groups of people that dominate. Some are from the industry, a lot of them are from the utilities company, like IEDE, etc. Another group are from those established university, like Chula, a few of them. Okay, so I can introduce you to people. We can go through the whole process. So you first of all will have a number of staff to join, and then some of them can also serve as the advisors and the counselors. And then you have the student join and the student members. Then you can form a student branch, and then you can student branch chapters as well. So that's something you can do. And if once you go into that, you can join competitions, you can apply for grants, apply for projects, etc. If you really want to, one day maybe I can come over, we can give you a further discussion, how to set up all those things. Yeah, more than happy.
Center in Bangkok, you know, some activity will be in Bangkok, but
You
if
need
we
that.
can set.
So that's why I was talking about at the end of the year, well, after
Yeah.
the 10Con, well, we can take a look, well, maybe you start up some kind of South of Thailand as well.
Okay.
You can hook up with some other organization. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn Punpong.
ค่ะ Thank you Dr. Punpong ค่ะ Is there any more question? Any question? Okay. And any question from Zoom? I'm not so sure anyone have checked from the chat box from Zoom. No. Okay, thank you. So I think now, so we move to activity. Now, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Punpong Bunpram, Dean of School of Informatics, to present our speaker with a token of appreciation. Yes, please. Come on. Yes, please, in front of the floor. Okay. Yes, there's a photo book of Nakhon Si Thammarat, and we're proud to present as one of the photographer is one of our staff at this center. Yes. Thank you very much, Ka. So now we will have 15-minute coffee break before moving ahead to the next session. So we will continue our session at 3:10 p.m. Okay, thank you. 15 minutes. Now we come to the session, Advanced Technology to Support Higher Education. It's my great pleasure to introduce Professor Yen Huang. Dr. Huang is currently a distinguished professor of the Graduate Institute of Network Learning Technology, National Central University, Taiwan. He received the Tai Yu Memorial Award from the National Science Council in 2005. His current research interests are related to the integration of IoT, robots, and multimedia sensor of mobile devices for interaction among human and on things in AR context, like smart architecture, building, and campus. In the recent 10 years, during 2007 to 2017, Dr. Huang is also ranked in top 7 scholars of the world in terms of high-quality journal publication performance of instructional design and technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Professor Yen Huang, please.
Okay, thank you a lot. Okay, thank you, team, Dr. Pupong, invitation, and thanks to all of you, spending your time, this afternoon come here. This is my first time to southern part of Thailand, also your university, Walailak University. So I give my first time to your university. Okay, I'm from Taiwan. Okay, sometimes, Taiwan, Thailand, foreign and Western people cannot differentiate, right? Oh, same country. And we also look quite similar, right? So we are brother. Okay, so when I come to Thailand, I feel very, happy because weather is pretty warm and the food is very tasty, right? Important is people are very nice and friendly. Okay. So today I attend your university, Walailak Research Convention. So focus on research. So today I would like to share my research, results recently, and also the topics about informatics innovation in disruptive era. So this is also related to education, informatics education, right? So this is very related to my interest, how to use technology to facilitate education, particularly the frontier education. I do a lot of the research, try to help teacher teaching and the student learning with advanced technology. So I'm very happy, get some honor, just introduce, okay, I got some, a good reputation, right? Around maybe 10 years from 2007 to 2017. In these 10 years, they count about 65 SSI journal, the high quality, okay, about instruction, design and whatever, right? About instruction design technology. Okay, I'm in the top 7. Okay, actually this survey done by some American expert. They surveyed, okay, 16.5 SSI journal, and I have a contribution about publication and about the portion of contribution of each publication. It means, okay, you are the corresponding author or first author, have a lot of contribution in such kind of publication. So, so first slide, I don't need to show because I already mentioned. And another is I focus more on using technology to facilitate language learning. Okay, so this is a top journal in this area. impact factor is the highest right now. So I also got number one in this 11 years, around like 2008 to 2019. So this is a survey by a European expert. They surveyed, this journal and recent maybe 11 or 12 years, I have publication and high citation, number of the high index paper, and also like a citation per year. So I'm very happy because I mentioned yesterday when I come here, I'm a research already guy. I'm a research guy. I like doing research. I feel very happy. Yeah, nobody, push me. Yeah, because I enjoy it. So I always talk to, this is my career, not my work, not my job. So yeah, I enjoy it. I don't feel, this is like a teaching law or work law. No. This is my career. I enjoy it. So I like to mention, if you really like doing something, teaching or research, definitely later on, maybe several years, you will get a good harvest, have a good publication, just keep continue. So I don't expect I have such kind like reputation. Just do it by myself with my student, do collaboration with my international friend, and then we publish as we can. I suppose that this is good for myself, also very good for my my student, my friend, because when we meet, we also exchange idea, right? And try to how to do collaboration, how to talk about like a scholar exchange or maybe student exchange, and like idea sharing. So this is a great thing. Besides, I also like to take a walk and at the sightseeing. I like to go to the natural beauty when we take a walk, when we have like a delicious meal, go to some beautiful place. We also can talk a lot of things, not only research, right? So today I don't prepare so many slides, different from Professor Fong. Prepare 90 slides. I just prepare just 19, around 19. This is just like like a learning technology, like evolution from like e-learning, because at the moment internet about like 2000 or like maybe earlier about 1995. At the moment, internet become very popular, because Microsoft Windows 95, right? Windows 95. At the moment, when you have the Windows 95, you need to have install TCP/IP module, so you will connect to internet, right? So at the moment, a lot of the like area use internet and the computer for like learning or maybe for business, right? So next, like M-learning, because maybe later we have the mobile phone, right? And then mobile phone, we can carry mobile phone to learn anywhere. Although at the moment mobile phone is not so powerful, not like right now, smart mobile phone. At the moment, traditional mobile phone, not many powerful function like a camera, right, or like some recognition technology. Just like a telephone for communication, right? Not so many multimedia function provided, but still there are some researchers that talk about M-learning. Because for the researcher, usually they work very pioneer, right? Then they maybe do some research maybe 10 years earlier than other people. So they think, this is potential. How to use mobile technology to help like learning, particularly use the very unique, property of the mobile phone, portability, mobility. So they use such kind of technology outside the classroom, and also try to have more interaction with, okay, maybe surrounding or people. And later on, ubiquitous learning, okay, I have some sensor, powerful technology, okay, like a multimedia technology or sensor. Like, so mobile phone have a lot of the function. Maybe you can take picture, record voice, or use a sensor. Okay, so this have more powerful. Anywhere you can have a learning. So ubiquitous learning. Okay, the last one like smart. Right now everyone talk about GPT, right? Now smart. Okay, so like smart. How to know the you know, your system have like a wisdom. Not wisdom, okay, have some ability to know what you need, right? Smart. It's about like context awareness, or maybe you know, learner needs. Important is big data. Yeah, collect the user learning portfolio, do some learning analytics, and then use some machine learning. Okay, try to know okay what you want. Okay, what you have not have. Maybe can recommend you some learning material. Or maybe find some expert try to help you. Okay. Definitely, okay, use some powerful technology. Okay, IoT or like recognition technology can recognize your speech. Also can recognize your surrounding, not speech, right? Recognize the video, recognize where you are, right? Recognize your body language. Okay, to know that, okay, maybe your body, your facial expression. Yeah, and then if know you more, we can try to provide more suitable, you know, support or feedback to learner. Okay, so this is the goal is for human. You know, the objective is try to help human, right? That human they can learn smartly. Not make a learner become lazy and lazy, or stupid and stupid, right? So just like GPT, we worry about. Okay, maybe students just use GPT to generate some article, right? And the content or write thesis. Okay, definitely, you know, students will use this way. Try to, you know, like don't use any effort, right? Just rely on like a machine or like a AI. But sometimes we can maybe have a different approach. Okay, maybe to use the GPT to generate some question, interesting question, personalized question. Try to motivate students. Oh, maybe I know your experience, your portfolio. Then I ask you a question based on your portfolio, right? Your needs. Okay, so this is a personalized question. Another, I will later talk about another part, okay, like based on the surrounding context. Okay. This morning I showed this slide. You know, COVID-19 changed us a lot, right? So just a moment we talk about, online learning, face-to-face learning. Okay, their strengths, their limitation. Okay. But we usually focus a lot like online learning, physical classroom learning. But how about like a real life world, authentic context? Okay, next slide I will show. You know, so you can look. Okay, usually worry about the kids or students staying indoor, right, without face-to-face, you know, interaction. They just addicted to the cyber world, right? Okay, don't know how to talk to, you know, people. Don't know how to take care of their society. Okay, to you know, how to help their surrounding, right? Just, you know, engage all their time in the virtual world, yeah, digital world. So I suppose, okay, in my opinion, okay, have some opportunity. What the opportunity? You know, potential study at home, because they cannot go to school, right? They use a computer, okay, to learn online. But they learn online at home, right? They not go to school, right? So what about like authentic contextual learning? Because you study at home, you cannot go far away, right? Because COVID-19 pandemic, and then, okay, why you don't use your community resources, right? Your house, surrounding your house resources. So I mentioned about, okay, take student to field trip. Why we have the field trip? Okay, because we want students to go to maybe entertainment, right? To know some place, scenic spa, right? More important is field study. Field study, okay. Field trip, maybe the main purpose is for entertainment. But field study, go to some place to collect some, maybe some data, do some analysis or experiment, and then, okay, try to know the surrounding, right? Like ecological system, right? Pollution, water quality, something like that, or agriculture. So, yeah, when we enter, reach higher education, we forget the value, right? Forget the value, the natural beauty. We just consider, online, face-to-face, learning. Yeah, also usually they can inspire us, right? Yeah, when we look, when we try to touch, okay, when we try to explore, maybe it can give us some inspiration. Totally different from or just study textbook or like read the content from internet. This is totally different. There are some learning theoretical support. Some learning theory can support, okay, my idea. Later on, maybe I will show you, okay, like different, when we learn, we have the different level of the cognition. Okay, different level cognition from the fundamental and then intermediate level, advanced level. Usually we know advanced level like quick activity, okay, something new. But do you think it's easy to have meaningful something new or meaningful new idea? Is easy? Meaningful. Everyone have the very crazy idea, but it's not very useful, right? So how to have really good idea, based on the rich experience, based on how you know the knowledge well, how to help the knowledge well, how to help. Just study from the book, or just like a paper-based work. No, yeah, you need to use, you need to apply. Okay, after the knowledge applying, you have rich experience. So different experience, you can compare. Okay, this case, this application, or some strength, some weakness, or another case, right? So after you have a rich experience, you will become knowledgeable, right? And then know, which way is much better, how to use this technology, how to solve the problem with appropriate knowledge. Okay. So after you are applying, you do some analysis, right? And later on, you can become evaluator. Evaluate. You can evaluate, okay? You become expert to evaluate. Like some competition, they are like an evaluator, right? They are very experienced. Otherwise, how they can become evaluator? They have the many experience, right? So invited to become evaluator of the contest, right? So after you have a lot of experience, become evaluator, then you can create something new. Okay, so they reach the highest level, okay, creativity. So this is based on like a social constructivism. Okay, like learning by doing, learning by doing. Okay, so I propose today I will introduce this idea. It's very, similar like a big data. Big data influence a lot. Right now, why AI is so successful? Because huge data, right? Huge data. Okay. So right now, GPT-4 already announced. So because the training data is so huge, right? So become smarter. They have the experience, right? They learn the 24 hours. To be honest, in the future, okay, they will not just collect data from internet. What's your prediction? Maybe GPT, they will continue to, have a bigger improvement. But after they get all the internet data, what they try to find new data? They try to new data from the real world. They use a sensor to collect, or like a multi-media function to collect, the information from the internet. They collect, not rely on human being. Usually the data, we feed it to the GPT. They try to train the model, right? But later maybe they can try to, get the data by themselves. Okay, so they use like some sensor recognition technology, right? Okay, to know that the surrounding, just like how human beings learn. Maybe in the beginning we learn from textbook, right? From internet. However, when we do research, usually we cannot find the solution from textbook, from internet. We need to do some experiment, right? The experiment, from our real world, right? This data from real world, not from internet, right? Okay, except like some systematic paper review, right? They collect maybe 100 papers, then do some systematic paper review, okay? So I propose this idea, big education. How to help learner learn actively. They learn actively. Okay. Yeah. Maybe motivation attitude. Determine your future attitude. Yeah, attitude, not aptitude. Aptitude, maybe you are very smart, but you are lazy. You use the wrong way, right? Okay. So how to have this kind of good learning behavior, active learning, authentic context with advanced technology help, like recognition technology and GPT, AI. Okay. So the goal, I try to reach the three part, okay, three issue. Besides high cognition, like the highest the creativity. Okay. There are another two part, scalability and the sustainability. Here, sustainability is different from the United Nations mentioned about SDG, right? This is a sustainable development goal, but here sustainability is a sustain your learning motivation. Even after school, after graduation, you still have motivation, try to apply knowledge, try to use knowledge. Okay. So it's a long sustainability. The first one is a big scalability. You can try to do a lot of application. Okay, application is not paper-based application, real-life application. Real-life application. So authentic context enable active learning. Authentic context. Sometimes you know that you are surrounded very well, right? You're familiar with your surrounding. You know that your surrounding, maybe there are some problem, why, maybe we can do some like improvement, right? Use the technology or use the knowledge we know. So it will make sense, right? Because you, every day, maybe you look at the real world, right? You know it very well, okay? So this is quite good, like how to have this morning, Dr. Picapong mentioned about talent mobility, right? Talent mobility, okay, from school, university to community and industrial, okay. The same, okay, the learning from classroom, right? Then campus, outside the classroom, then outside the campus. Okay, go to the your neighborhood, your community, right? Okay, can try to use the knowledge and then help you to understand the knowledge, help you to evaluate the knowledge, right? So there are three parts, three issues: creativity, scalability, and sustainability. I just share, I'm a research guy, Usually I have idea, I plan, how to, address several issues step by step, okay? From the fundamental part, bottom part, then try to build, okay? Build above, and then, okay, can consolidate my idea. Understand? I know how to make you become like expert. For research, some issue, the same way, right? Have the more empirical study, then you know the more, right? So can help you, go further. So the same way, empirical study help me try to do a more meaningful research, right? In near future. So this morning I talk about the recent maybe 12 years. I have several 3 years research project. Each term is 3 years. I 4. Okay, total is 12 years. Okay, so step by step, how to build my research. Like a way to find a more meaningful like issue, right? To be a researcher, we hope we can have a bigger contribution, right? To help, maybe our world. Okay, so you will feel, oh, this is quite interesting, right? In my opinion, quite interesting. Okay. So I don't have the much time, to do a research after, I got a good result. I don't have time to collaborate with industrial, because if try to collaborate with industrial, they will consider too much, right? About like money, marketing, something like that. Okay. So today I just share 3 empirical study. All study participants are university students or graduate students. Okay. So the higher education. First, also related to authentic context for E-level writing. E-level writing. Okay, so you can look at the first, self-experience. Self-experience. Please, you need to have your own experience, not, other experience. Even a very touching story, right? Maybe you hear, but maybe later on you forget, because not your own experience. Maybe several days you forget. But if you have your own experience, maybe you cannot forget your whole life. Okay, so self-experience, like one story, try to describe, right, in English. Okay, so it is for E-level writing. I mentioned right now in Thailand, Walailak University also try to promote the EMI, courses. In Taiwan, the same. We have the EMI courses. Okay, this is a government level. Okay, government level try to promote. So in 7 years, 2030, okay, Taiwan hope become the bilingual nation. Okay, so English also official language. The second is about also user-oriented. We consider learner needs, user needs, not the teacher needs. Is like student center, right? Student center. So focus on like E-level speaking. Okay, use some. This is not really advanced technology, so like instant speech translation and shadowing in authentic context. Also, like we use a peer tutoring. The second part is a 2 paper. Okay, 2 journal paper I combined together because it's quite related. The participant are the same, almost the same. Okay, I also propose like a cognitive division, how to, make the cognitive from maybe like fundamental level to intermediate level. Okay, how to use the knowledge. Okay, use a peer like tutoring, like collaboration, peer help each other. Okay, when we design learning activity in a classroom, easy to control, right? Because classroom management maybe it's pretty easy. However, if students learn outside the classroom. They go out to explore, go out to apply the English speaking. Students will say, oh, go out. They just, forget what they need to do, what they need to learn. They just have social talk or do something else. So like peer tutoring, maybe we need to train like some like a teaching assistant, right? A good student. They become each team the leader. Try to help their team member when they go out to explore, to carry out some authentic contextual learning activity. So I propose like a cognitive division, this model. Okay, how to help the whole class. Their cognition division came from fundamental level to intermediate level. Okay, just peer help each other. And the third one, AI and recognition technology. Usually we use a GPT 3.5, and I also focus on e-level writing. There are two issues I will try to have some mechanism, smart mechanism. Personalization and contextualization. I just mentioned personalization means consider personal needs. Okay, this is a challenge, for teacher, so many students, how to provide personal feedback, right? Or it's very time consuming. I think maybe GPT can try to help a little bit. Give a feedback, right? And how to give a personalized feedback? It's pretty easy. Because the students, they need to they have the first maybe draft or homework. We can use the homework as input. Then GPT will generate some feedback. We also have the question bank, some question. So question combined with the student, the first draft, their draft, they will generate some question to, okay, which part you need to describe more, right? Which part you need to improve based on the different learner, their draft, right? Different essay, right? As an input. Contextualization is mean, okay, students go out to explore. They have the different contexts they like. Maybe some students go to library, some students maybe go to like food court. Okay, for food, maybe some students like this food, other students like other food, right? Some like Italian food, some like Thai food, Japanese food, different food. How to give the help? So this is a contextualization based on what they like. Okay, maybe they want to describe maybe some food or delicious recommend to maybe others. Okay, all are in authentic context. So not easy to guide them and lead them. Okay, to do meaningful learning. So use maybe recognition technology and GPT. So this is the first. I just have a brief, describe the results. Okay, for these three studies. First one is a self-experience. Okay, this is a theoretical support. Theory. Okay, some kind of theory can lead you to go, far away, right? Okay, so because this theory, like a philosophy, can lead us to go step by step. In activism, this is like a cognition and environment are inseparable. Inseparable. This is very meaningful, not just a textbook. Usually we think learning usually occurs, in a study room, in a classroom, right, or library. We forget how to connect to environment, real life. So here is, okay, cognition and environment are inseparable, right? Learning is drawn from the interaction between the learner and the environment. Okay, sometimes they can enable, also shape, also limit. Yeah, if you have experience, also limit your learning, right? Okay, so how to break through this limitation? I have another study, different from the personalization and contextualization. Okay, how to break through the limitation, individual limitation, because contextualization also based on what you like, right? You go out to, oh, I want to introduce this, I want to learn from this object or something, right? They can, like shape also enable or limit. But how to break through the limitation? Yeah, you can learn from others. Other people, others. So this is another issue called socialization. You learn from others. Okay. Oh, others have the such kind of writing different from you. Okay, maybe this is also good, right? Okay. Break through the limitation, your own limitation. Although your rich experience, your experience is very precious. However, can limit you, right? Okay. So this is a pretty interesting. First study, understand authentic learning involvement with in activism. So we designed a very simple, like a app. So like here, like they can try to like a speech recognition or image processing, text to speech. Because for language learning, okay, so we will recognize, to generate text. After text, maybe students need to listen or need to speaking, right? So text to speech is for listening. Okay, and then speech translation, this is another purpose, right? Translate different language. Then the next is speech recognition. Speech recognition is for speaking. When you speak, okay, we will give you feedback. Try to evaluate your speech accuracy, right? Or like a fluency. Okay, give you feedback. Or maybe this vocabulary, your pronunciation speaking is not good. They will say, this is not, try to improve. And then give you like a feedback, okay, your accuracy rate and also, fluency rate, okay. And the image recognition is also try, because they take picture. They like this context, right? Like this food. So we try to recognize, okay, the photo student take from authentic context. Then we provide vocabulary, phrase, and we also can use GPT to make sentence. Because why student like this object or image? Because they want to describe it, right? They want to describe, okay, this food, delicious, ingredient, is good or not, okay, or is good in your health. So take picture and we try to recognize and provide useful lexical resource like vocabulary or phrase. Later on we can make a sentence with a GPT, okay. So just like a simple sentence. Hope students they can use this simple sentence to make it they need, right? Because GPT actually don't know the unit, but they just give the simple sentence, right? Maybe you can try to learn. Usually for Asia's students try to learn English, the important part, maybe later I will show you. What the important part? Grammar checking? Spelling checking? No, usually English teacher usually we will do collaboration. English teacher say, it's possible to make a student they can have a better grammar or like use appropriate words, right? But they usually ignore how to write a more meaningful content, right? And then can describe more clearly, and later their opinion can communicate very well, right? Like communication and the reasoning, make their writing become more reasonable, right? And they can write their idea, then people can understand. Okay. Also another is organization, how to organize your writing, right? Okay. So use like a recognition technology, image processing or speech recognition. This is pretty simple. Okay, and this is about like EFL writing. This is about EFL writing. Okay, this is EFL writing. You can look at here. They take a photo of this food. I don't know. This may be like noodle soup with the dumpling. Okay, maybe noodle soup with dumpling. So they can recognize. Okay, this is maybe like Southeast Asian food. Southeast Asian food. Okay, so they provide some vocabulary. Actually, this study I have done maybe 2016, long time ago, or 2015, around 5 or 7 or 8 years ago. Okay, it's pretty easy. Okay, recognize and provide some basic vocabulary or phrase. Okay, they also can aid, because at the moment recognition technology is not so mature, right? So students, they can delete or aid. Okay. So this is a result. Storytelling is a very positive effect on their writing performance. Okay, storytelling. Because self-experience, not other people experience, right? Okay, not from internet. So storytelling can write more. Okay, with more vivid words, vocabulary, something like that. Okay, authentic activity can really promote email writing. Okay, this is the second one. Second one, I will talk about important idea. Right-hand side, this is like a different level of cognition. This is a Bloom taxonomy. Bloom taxonomy. So from the fundamental is a basic is a remember. Sorry, maybe the font size is so small. This is the remember, right? So the remember. Yes, sorry, the font size is too small. And then understand. After you remember, you need to understand. And then apply. Then the high is analyze, evaluate, and create. Okay, this is called high-level cognitive processing. Okay, from the fundamental. Apply, this is a critical part. Apply, try to apply. Not just paperwork or do a lot of exercise. Apply the knowledge in the real-life problem, real-life world. Okay, so to promote learning, to promote high cognitive process from low to high, right? So this is my proposed a model. It's called cognitive division model. Cognitive division model. Okay. Maybe right-hand side, if your research is related to management, maybe you know that this is a Roger. Proposed Roger is a innovative division model. Innovative division model means new technology, how to accept it, become popular by human being. Okay, usually first is just 2.5% innovator, right? They innovate, okay, some new technology. Then some early adapter, right? They think, they need to try the new technology to find their potential. So this is the first two part, okay, occupy the portion about 15%. And then important how to close this casing to become early majority. Early majority is around more than 30. Total sum up about 50. If they can promote casing to become early majority, they all mean maybe two people, one will use this technology, this success, get a big success, right? A lot of people use. Okay, meaning people recognize that this is useful, so they try to buy and to have the experience. So this is a casing from innovator to early adapter to early majority. Then late majority. Last one is the later. Okay, even everyone use, but they still don't want to use. Okay, they insist. I don't like technology. I just like a traditional way. Okay, I just use maybe telephone. Night telephone. They don't want to use a mobile phone because they say, it's a lot of information. I feel crazy, right? I need to check the information, email, Facebook, a lot, right? So they finally give up. Okay, but actually, this is just temporary effect, result. Okay, maybe mobile phone in the near future will disappear. Just like, do you think a mouse? Maybe mouse, in the future, mouse will disappear. Or like a DVD driver, DVD. Nobody uses DVD right now, right? Maybe sometimes it will disappear, right? So this is proposed by Roger, innovative diffusion model. And left side is my proposed model. Proposed model is based on this 6 cognitive level. Okay, remember, understand, apply. So from the right hand side is remember or don't remember. They don't know this knowledge. For example, they don't know the fraction, don't know the geometric. Okay, or don't know that maybe some language. Okay, so they remember or don't remember. Then they understand. Okay, why they have this spelling, why have this grammar, right? And then how to make sentence. Okay, how to speak well. So this is understanding. Then they need to use, apply daily life. Not just learn how to remember the word, spelling the word, the grammar. They also need to speak. Not just in the English class. Okay, read loudly, right? After class, don't use English. This is not really applying. Okay, so there is a caging here. So I put a caging between the understand and apply. So this is a caging. This is how to close. How to close. Yeah. After you have the lot of the experience to use English in daily life, you will understand more how to use the right vocabulary, right? Okay, maybe the vocabulary, the meaning quite similar, but used in different scenario. Okay. And also you can do analyze, evaluate. Sometimes you can create some vocabulary, right? Some terms. If you are expert, you can create something new. Okay, so this is caging between understand and apply. Sorry, this is means one later, why? So, okay, user-oriented EFL speaking. This part, second part is for speaking. So students, they try to speak. Okay, after class. This activity, I ask a student, okay, to practice English after class. After class, okay, like homework. They still use this app to practice, English speaking, to describe their campus, the university student, right? So they try to describe their campus, maybe food, transportation, study, entertainment. And the second is about peer tutoring, try to facilitate cognitive division. Everyone, they can reach the cognitive level application level, right? They can apply, they can use English after class, okay, in their daily life. Okay, so we developed this app, right? And then, okay, blah, blah, speaking, translation. This is just some fun speech shadowing. Speech shadowing is just like experience, pronunciation, the new words and sentence, and then give them feedback, okay, to give them score, okay. We'll finish soon. So here, this is basic function, okay, and this is about peer tutoring. You can look, right-hand side, this is just one student, they learn by themselves, they feel, in the beginning, maybe they are a little bit, excited, but later on, it feel very bored, right? And the left side, you can look, they pair one student and one student, they have the discussion, there is more student, they have, try to explore the campus and then to describe the campus together, right? Okay, so this is the result. Usually we find that if the student, they can practice more, okay, then they can speak much better. Okay, they can participate more. Then student can incline to learn and speak the target language, and also take more step. And authentic context, and also speak more. This is pretty good, because this is also a very healthy learning environment. Yeah, creating a healthy learning environment. Not just focus on small screen. On small screen, you just you go out to look at the authentic context, the natural beauty, try to describe. This is just for facilitate, right? Not only focus on small screen. They can try to look at, outside. This is another study, just I mentioned, like peer tutoring. Left side, this is have the peer tutoring. Right hand side, just individual learning. We can look, there are several assignments, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. we ask a student to do assignment, okay, 3 assignment. And for individual group, just for individual learning, usually their cognitive not improve a lot, although the authentic context, but they don't know how to apply, right? They lose their focus, lose their curiosity, okay? But for the group, maybe 2 students, 3 students, 5 students, okay, they can try to talk more because have a peer accompany you, right? Just like if you go to some place, if you have good friend work together with you, you forget time, right? You forget how long you work. Okay, but if you just only one work, you I will go back, you know, feel very bored. So this is a contribution, just like, okay, in psychology aspect, the student feel positive and happy, and also can have the more effect learning, okay. Okay, I will quick talk about this one, okay. I will skip the like literature review. We developed the system using ITR, image to text recognition, speech to text recognition. Also, this is AI to generate simple sentence. AI generate writing feedback. So simple sentence is based on the picture, okay? The picture from authentic context, student take picture. And AI writing feedback is based on their first writing. After they finish first writing, we will try to give feedback based on their first writing. So this is pretty simple. So here, from the bottom side, authentic context, then use ITR, STR, right? Generates AI sample. And then we use, after they finish first writing, we will use their first writing to GPT. GPT will try to, generate some writing feedback, okay? So they can do a lot of the revision because the GPT gives them feedback, ask them to maybe write something new, right? Okay. And then they will try to revise as they can. So this is a step. Explore the surrounding image, photo, then system will generate simple sentence, then student finish first draft, we have the scaffolding, and then use the grammar feedback and writing feedback, okay? Writing feedback, we use a GPT. Grammar feedback, this is a pretty easy, common. Okay, so this is a user interface. We develop app. So we conduct this study in Indonesia. I have some Indonesian student, and the first and the second one, my Vietnamese student, did a research. Okay, my PhD student. This is another PhD student from Indonesia. Okay, so this is some example. Usually we find writing feedback is very meaningful. The above part is original writing, and the lower part is bottom part is recommended by GPT. We find okay, their writing is much better. GPT, more professional. The meaning is quite semantic meaning is quite similar, but the writing is much better, right? Maybe they have a lot of the some word make the writing become more readable, right? And maybe the writing become more beautiful. Okay. So this is we try to find which part the student needs. The first one is grammar. Usually just 60% they need. They think this is important. They agree. But important is the second one, the 90. 90 is about simple sentence generated by AI. Students need a simple sentence. They need. This is 90%. But grammar, they just need 60%. And the third one, they about like a writing feedback is 80%. Okay, so this is not what they really need. Otherwise, you just provide spelling, like grammar, checking feedback. Not enough. They need, okay, can write more, right? Meaningful. Okay. So I think this is the result. Just like AI use image to text recognition, speech recognition have a significant improvement in their writing. Very significant. And also writing feedback, students will be motivated to write more, to try to modify, revise. So this is also key part, how to revise, not just our first draft. Okay. So students show, okay, this is very meaningful. Okay, but AI still have some limitation. AI has limitation. AI not 100% perfect. Still something need to improve, right? So this app we think is very useful for EVL writing. So this is some limitation. I just mentioned GPT, they have a limitation. what the limitation? Maybe you can consider. This is question. Not just, okay, share my experience. Maybe this is my own experience, right? But after you use the GPT, maybe you can give them input, and then you will get a result. What happened, right? And then, oh, it's powerful, but still not good enough. Have a limitation. Okay, thank you. I think this is my speech. I end here. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Huang, for the very interesting speech. So now we have learned more about the idea, like for big education, you're talking about authentic context learning, cognitive diffusion model, and you give very clear example. We see the big picture of how you implement that. That's very interesting.
Or the empirical study already published. Already published in Web of Science journal. Okay.
Oh. Okay, and now it's come to the Q&A session. Please feel free to ask the question. Okay, right now we already have one question from the floor. The question is, in the midst of a world that is constantly changing and challenging, in order to prepare the future generations to always be ready, how has the role and importance of teachers changed? And what are the key skills that everyone needs to develop?
Everyone need to develop teacher change?
Yes. They got two, actually it says two questions.
Okay. Okay, for teacher change, usually, everyone don't want to change. Even teacher is harder to change, right? I think don't want to change. Even for me, I cannot change myself. But please choose your preference, your strengths. Okay, to in your teaching or your research. Don't learn from others. Everyone very unique. Okay, you can just like you learn from other experts. Your teacher, you are not the teacher, right? You have your uniqueness, you have strengths, you have the limitation. Please explore yourself, know yourself first, and try. Oh, I like this most. Okay, this is my hobby. Nobody forces me, so you will do it, and you will feel happy, and also you have good performance. Yeah, please just don't learn from others. Okay, sometimes you think, oh, this is good. Maybe you can try to adapt. Okay, but explore yourself, know yourself first. Okay, so the key skill, right? Everyone need to develop. I mentioned rich experience, right? You need to try to do some empirical, experiment, right? And get your experience, then can help you to move forward. Okay. Yeah, future generation just like maybe use technology, right? Teacher cannot help so many students. It's impossible, right? So without technology, we cannot provide adaptive learning, personalized learning, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Seems like there's no more question. So I would like to inform the participant that the presentation slides of our speaker, both from Professor Fong and from Professor Huang, will be uploaded to the IEDE website so you can get all the information. Okay. So now may I invite Dr. Yuthana Charanrun, Head of Informatics Innovation Center of Excellence, to present Professor Huang with a token of appreciation. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Huang. Yes, so please stay here for a while. And I would like to invite Dr. Yuthana, Head of the Informatics Innovation Center of Excellence to thank our speaker and participant and also close this seminar.
Okay, thank you for just speak. Thank you for all participants for attending this seminar. I hope you, as me, found it very informative and valuable. I want to thank you, the School of Informatics, the Center of Excellence, our committee, and everyone, every staff who contribute the success of this event. I hope the School of Informatics choose arrange this seminar for the next year and every year. And I think let's learn and grow together in the informatics education in this disruptive era. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So this concludes today's seminar, and I have a few notes. Once you leave the seminar, you will receive a survey on the QR code, and we would appreciate it if you would complete that and provide your feedback. We prepare a nice umbrella, okay, for everyone as a thank you souvenir. So thank you very much for being here today. I hope your knowledge has been expanded by this seminar. We're looking forward to see you again, maybe next year with next seminar.
Attention for the traditional activity, I would like to invite all of you take a
the group photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so please everyone, shall we take the group photo together? Yes, please. Just right here.